your baby just walk around.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot you got to watch out for.
Especially if you...
I'm Rich.
And I'm Josh.
Make sure your Walkman is at full battery because we're diving into our dad tapes.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for listening to tape number 19 of the Dad Tapes. Let's get rolling. What are we drinking tonight?
Tonight we got our hands on another Kane Brewing Company beer. Tonight we're actually drinking the Party Wave. It's another IPA. I'm telling you, bro, you're all about these IPAs now.
Yeah.
You are on an IPA kick, and I love it. It's a 7.4% ABV. And I am eager to taste this bad boy.
Ooh.
Wow. I like it.
That's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
That's pretty good, actually.
It's a good beer.
Yeah,
it's a good beer. It's I don't know what their staple IPA. I mean, you know how most microbreweries. You all right?
Not gonna lie, I'm having fucking one of these.
I'm a one and done.
Kind of giving me flashbacks to the fucking Citrus Squall, bro.
Yeah, these are good.
So how's your week been,
bro? Same shit, different day this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to get the yard onto a consistent schedule because you know I'm gonna be a grass nerd here for a second. You know, you got to get it on a consistent schedule, and you gotta, if you want good grass, good healthy grass, you want to cut it a couple times a week. I know everybody's always like, oh, when's a guy cutting his grass like 2 times? You know, there's always that guy, one guy in the neighborhood that cuts his grass a couple times a week.
Yep.
But you know what he has? Really nice grass.
Yeah.
He has really nice grass. So that actually helps. Like, you don't have to water it as much. The only times you really, unless you're in a drought or, you know, it hasn't rained in a week, you know, maybe a 10-minute spritz here or there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that really helps cut back the watering because it helps protect itself. You know, it's reached its, you know, it knows when to stop growing because it's being cut so frequently. So,
yeah.
But other than that, I mean, just
mundane week. Feel like
being a dad, man.
Copy and paste it like I did.
Yeah,
usually.
yeah. The kids, you know, Deck's party was fun. That was a good
fun.
time. That was a really good time.
Yeah. Addie was happy.
He was so excited that she was there. Like, I mean, and she was the first one there.
Yeah.
You and her were the first ones there. And since then, like, honestly, most of that night, those two were always together.
Oh, yeah. It seems like it's always been that way, you know, since they actually first met. But the two of those, they're both inseparable.
I know.
It's nice to see because me being the single dad I am, well, not single dad anymore, obviously. But
yo, that was a slip up. She gonna come for you like fucking Jason in the night, bro. Run.
No, but just being, in a sense, a single parent, and being half hour, 45 minutes away from where she lives on a norm, she doesn't have many friends down here. Yeah. So it's nice for her to have that.
How about you, bro? What's anything new? I mean, last we left off, you got a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to say a first name?
Huh?
Are you allowed to say a first name?
Well, I mean, she told me, she kind of asked me if I said anything about her on the podcast.
Oh, so she had her own. Oh shit! She's like, so did you talk about me on the podcast? Did you say my name?
Listen, guys, I'm not even gonna lie. I got my own little fan groupie. She fucking loves it, dude. It's great.
She only in it for the show, bro. No, she only in it for the show.
Oh, Daddy!
It's nice though to have the support though, because she's very big on it.
Well, you see my wife, bro.
So,
she's out there.
Yeah,
exactly. She out there wanted to be our manager, and I'm like, you know what? Like, hey, she wants to be our merchandise manager. Merchandise is coming up soon. You know, we'll keep you guys updated. Just it's not lost. You know, we didn't drop the ball. It's still a work in progress. We got what we needed to. We got some things going. So
trying to figure out our best option.
Exactly. So. But anyway, she wants to be like the merchandise manager. And then she even slipped up, said, I'm the podcast manager. It's like, what?
What the hell you say?
Hold up.
Well, hey, you know, you better get us gigs.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
We need better equipment down here. What's up, manager? What's up?
We need a room. We need soundproof walls. Like, what
exactly. Where you at?
Hook us up.
If we unpaid, you unpaid too, but you still got to help us out.
Oh, shit. No, man, my week was pretty good, dude. Super busy at work, though. Not driving as much. We're pretty slow right now for the deliveries. So, it's been good. She, counting down the days, man. Counting down the days. She's coming up here to visit for a week, so it's going to be nice. So,
there you go.
I'm excited. Yeah.
Good.
So... Are you prepared today?
You know, I am prepared, and I'm kind of prepared.
Are you prepared that this is our last segment with this book, though?
I don't know if I'm prepared for that, but I'm going to be prepared. Because that's what we've been doing this whole time, is just learning to be prepared.
Exactly.
So, tonight we're going to be prepared with obviously our handy-dandy practical handbook for new dads. The segment tonight is going to be camping with your cub. Now, it's a kind of a lengthy segment, so we're going to kind of just breeze through it. Ultimately, it's a lengthy segment. That's what I'll just say. But you know, when you go out with go out for a camping trip with your little one, with your cub, your baby should not be an excuse to retire your tent and sleeping bag. Get them out there too.
Exactly.
Man in nature. So when you set up your camp, make sure you pick a campsite that's good distance away from other campers. You know what? You still got a baby at the end of the day, man. Yeah. Nobody. There's no solid walls to cover that, smother. Woo! There's no walls to quiet that baby's cry. No. You're in a tent.
Yeah.
I hope. You'll need something to put him in while you set up camp. So, you know, probably whatever you brought for the baby to sleep in.
Pack and play specifically.
Or even, you know what? Just don't let them walk all over the place or crawl all over the place, because you're just trying to set that tent up. It's got to take a few hours if you're trying to have your baby just walk around.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot you got to watch out for.
Especially if you got a big-ass tent.
More so if you got a big-ass tent. Yeah. You also, one thing to keep in mind, and us living at the beach, you know, it's kind of easy to always keep that in the back of your mind, is sunscreen and bug repellent. And then sleeping outdoors, some dads just, you know, shove the baby in the sleeping bag with them. Oof. You know, I mean, that it's clearly a form of co-sleeping. And if you're in a sleeping bag, it's going to be a snug form of co-sleeping.
Not going to lie, if I did that, I might have fucking smothered my kid, because I'd fucking roll around.
I wouldn't, you know, my kid would just be ripping ass and he'd find his way out. You've heard that kid.
Thrown him out?
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck out my sleeping bag.
Exactly. Yeah, he wouldn't need to crawl his way out. I'd chuck him out. God, man, that kid. You want to keep a flashlight next to your sleeping bag so you can turn it on as soon as the baby starts to cry. You know, it's even though it seems like an obvious thing, I wouldn't think about that.
No.
I wouldn't think about it until the baby's crying and I'm like, I should have put a flashlight here. Or where's my phone? I can't find it. You know, a couple of nights before the trip, help the baby get acclimated to the outdoors. So if, you know, he's not an outdoorsy baby, or you're not in an area where, hey, you could just go out back and let the baby wander in the grass and the bushes and things like that. Kind of find a place, like take him to a park. Get a baby acclimated to that. Keep in mind that a 2-person tent is just not big enough for 2 adults and a baby, you know?
No.
It's not. It's not big enough. A 2-person tent is big enough for 1 person.
Yeah, in my opinion.
Yeah. So you're going to have to go with those 3 to 4 people tents for you and a baby.
Or like we did with a 10-person fucking tent.
That works too. Shit
was like a mansion.
The one that has like rooms, and you walk out and it's like a coffee maker in the center for yourself. And In cold weather, it's a good idea to dress the baby in the sleep sack wearable blankets.
All right, look, I'm not going to lie. I'm sitting here reading this myself, and it's telling you that you want to obviously burying your scat. But it says you want to remove the scat from the diaper and dispose of the diaper after you dig your hole. That fucking diaper's going in that hole, bro.
Yeah, I'll just say that I did
Not
that.
gonna lie.
That's one of the moments where it's like, let's just say that we did and don't. Because you know what? There ain't no cameras. Nobody gonna see you. Yeah, it's a poopy. Do I really want to? Especially if the baby, it's at that point in time, it's either gonna be still forming turds, not like a good old like plopping on like a dog turd where that thing's firm. It's gonna be a
goop.
Yeah. The next thing is hiking. I mean, you're out there camping. You still want to have fun. So why not take that baby hiking? But you need a baby backpack through and through. I mean, you need a backpack just for yourself to begin with if you're going hiking. You can't start to trek without proper preparation. I mean, that's why we're being prepared. So before you buy a backpack, bring your baby to the store with you and go on a mini hike through the aisles with him securely in the pack. Just give it a test run. Try it out. Zipper it up if you need to or want to. It depends what you're looking to do. So, you want to have also like an actual hiking backpack, things that you're going to need in the wilderness. God forbid if anything were to happen. A diaper bag works, but it's not. Diaper bag's not going to be able to carry the things that you'll need to survive in a worst case scenario.
No.
When you start to embark on your hike, there's 7 things you want to consider. Firstly, never hike alone with your baby.
No.
God, something happens, man.
Especially
if you're not an active person to begin with. And I'm not saying that to crap on anybody. Don't go in over your head. Don't do more. Don't try to be the big guy on campus. Don't do more than what you're normally used to. And if you're going to try to kind of push your boundaries, don't do it alone.
No.
Not with a baby. If you did it alone and without a baby and you get stuck out there, well, you're an idiot.
You're fucked. Just be cautious. That's all.
Exactly. If you're used to carrying around a 60-pound pack and you have a 20-pound baby, then you should only carry 20 pounds worth of gear. Baby weight is different from gear weight. If you are not careful, the baby's constant shifting can throw you off balance. And kind of circling back to number 1 there, especially if you're alone, you might get hurt.
Yeah.
So just, again.
Or they might get hurt.
They might get hurt.
Yeah.
You know what? Who cares about you? Just don't let them get hurt. Fuck you. And then dress your baby more warmly than yourself. Remember that, you're moving around while they're just luggage, basically.
Yeah, in a sense.
The backpack provides your baby a perfect angle to spit up right into your shirt and down your back.
Lovely.
That's a good one. It's best not to go hiking right after he's had a big meal or because, the jiggling can kind of bring everything up, if you will.
Ugh.
If it's hot out, give your baby lots of water to keep them hydrated. To cool them off, fill up a spray bottle. If you're going to be out longer for than an hour or more, pack a blanket. Take the baby out of the backpack every once in a while so they can stretch because, it's going to suck carrying a baby on your back or front that whole time, but it's probably going to suck just as much being carried that way. You can't be comfortable. And then just kind of, again, it circles back to the first one. Stay on the beaten path and always stick closely to marked trails, no matter your confidence or skills.
Don't get courageous.
Exactly. It comes down to the fact that, if it was just you, then have at it. But you got a baby. That's all that really needs to be said about that.
Bears and baby.
The last part of this segment is bears and babies. And
give it up for a snack.
I guess you could say bears and babies don't really mix well. So it's just best to avoid entirely an encounter if it's possible. Sometimes it's just inevitable. It happens. Things kind of surprise you.
Yeah.
So just be careful and be knowledgeable of where you're going to camp in the first place. Avoid, God forbid, and then you find yourself somewhere with one somewhere around. avoid startling that thing. You know, you don't want to be like, "Hey, buddy, get out of here!" Well, it ain't getting out of there. That's for sure. To avoid them, you know, keep your garbage and your food and all that other stuff that they're ultimately looking for. You know, looking for a free snack. You know, Yogi the Bear. Keep that out of reach. Yogi. Hey, boo boo.
I was just gonna do that.
And then you want to keep away from dead things. It's just kind of self-explanatory. You know, that's a bear's going to eat it, so you don't want to be there. And if you see a bear, make your presence known. You know, the whole thing of trying to run away or you know, when it comes down to bears, they speak language or physical language and stand your ground. Yep. Because it's going to outrun you.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, you're bipedal and that's 4 legs. That thing's going to get you.
Yep.
And if you're running away and you're making it chase you, I can imagine it's not going to end up well.
No. Definitely not.
That's how you be prepared, and like Josh said, that this is our last being prepared segment, and next episode we'll be introducing transitioning to a new segment, and in time we'll get to that.
In due time. As the leaders of our family, there's a lot expected from us. However, one thing that we should start to expect from ourselves and to provide for our family is the desire for mental stability and lasting memories. Family vacations can be a source of both of those things, in addition to other lifelong traits and qualities. Tonight we're going to discuss the spirit of family vacationing and the purposeness we all need for them.
It's time for a data dump. Squeeze that one out real quick. So,
Plop, plop, fizz, fizz.
a couple interesting things that I learned this week. I mean, some things I knew. I just didn't know the full weight of them. So we as Americans need to vacation more. That's just where I'll start, you know? And it needs to start with employers. We're not going to get into this. This is not what we're about. And we're not going to dwell on the negatives, but America is one of 6 countries that do not federally require vacation time to be provided to employees.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yep.
Furthermore, not only does the Fed not really require any vacation time, and that includes paid holidays, but there's not a single state in America that requires vacation time.
Really?
Not a single state.
That's bullshit.
That is bullshit. And we're the old approach must have been, you know, not to require the minimums, to just kind of allow the employees the freedom to negotiate. Like, yeah, okay. You might not be able to. You want 6 hours of vacation time? Well, good luck, because this guy right here, he says vacation time, just give me OT. Yeah, let's move forward and not dwell on that, and let's kind of get into the lightheartedness of this all. This is going to be an easier dump. That first part was a big push. There was an article published online states several reasons why family vacations have an impact on a child's overall happiness. It can reduce stress for the entire family, and that actually can be cited from a U.S. Travel Association survey providing insight of children's perspective, that 75% of their parents bring work home with them. And I think that's fathomable. It's tough to separate the two, especially now, knowing we are one of the least vacationing countries in the world. It's not a surprise. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not going to get into it. Traveling gives children new perspectives and teaches them, honestly, it teaches them adaptability. Not only has traveling proved to provide children with self-confidence, but it also promotes familial bonding. We all know how that is so important.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Lastly, there was a study published in 2020 that provides really informative research on the impact of vacationing on your relationship with not only your partner, but as a family. The study breaks down, as they term vacation, a family leisure, and that has 2 dimensions. Those 2 dimensions being core and balance, which was actually a model introduced in 2001. The study's results provided couples and families who have taken at least one vacation in the previous year have reported higher levels of relationship functioning, relationship flexibility, and relationship cohesion.
Oh, yeah.
The impacts were actually quantified, with cohesion, flexibility, and functioning explaining 8%, 15%, and 8% of their functioning scores, respectively.
Yeah.
And that was our data dump.
I've been on countless vacations growing up as a kid, and it has brought many memories into my life that I think back on very frequently. Do you have any vacations that you went on that were worth sharing with our listeners that might possibly make them want to go with their family?
I definitely have some childhood vacations that I'd say. I mean, most of my vacations as a child were, I wouldn't even say they were vacations. They were just time away from home because most of the time it was camps.
Soccer camp.
But I'm talking like Boy Scout camps. You
Yeah.
know, like Weeblos camp, things like that.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times that's what my summer away would be. And of course, it's like a week or 2 weeks. Reflecting back, I don't know for sure how long those camps were, but you know, I remember those. And reflecting back on trips like that, you know, it's different. It's obviously it's going to be a different perspective, but you know, I was always thankful for those opportunities and to go places like that and go and see family, because the other times it was going to see family.
Yeah.
And it's just it's sometimes it's a lot more strenuous as an adult to get all that in motion. But as long as you can put yourself into a mindset to where it's like, hey, you know, at one point in time, my children are going to be able to look back, and it might not be moments that I expect them to be able to look back at, but they're going to look back and think that was fun.
Yeah.
For instance, Gatlinburg, when we went to Tennessee, kids had a great time. Kids slept in the same room for a full week almost. You know, so getting to hang out with your cousins for a full week, who doesn't want that?
Yeah, right.
And obviously playing all the time, but even the places we would go, and we went to the Stampede, the Stampede Rodeo, whatever that actually is. I can't remember the name of it. That was awesome.
Yeah, it's cool shit.
And though I had to leave the middle of it with Bridget, even though she loves horses so much she wanted to get down there and ride one. So it wasn't going out so well, and her and I had to leave. But like Dex is going to be at the age now where he's remembering that. And I hope he's able to be like, wow, that was such a good time. That was a fun time. And he actually really enjoyed the show. And yeah, again, sometimes it can be stressful, and like everything around it can be stressful, but it's worth it. Now, like I said, I haven't been on a lot of like traditional vacations as a kid. Most of my time, like I said, camping or Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, things like that. I'm not too privy like what it was like for you though. I mean, quite honestly, you know, that was a part of our lives that we never really kind of ever was really commingled. I never remember going anywhere camping or anything with you, quite honestly.
Yeah.
So like, what is the single most memorable vacation you can reflect back on, and what made that vacation so memorable for you?
Honestly, man, that's tough because a lot of the vacations that I've taken were very memorable. I mean,
well, so when you're thinking of vacations, what's the first one that always seems to be putting the biggest smile on your face, or the first one that comes back, you know, to your mind when you think back at vacations?
All right, so I'll start with the now, because my second one as a kid is kind of going to lead into a question for you later on.
Okay.
So the one now I could say is when me and my ex-wife were still together. We ended up going to Gatlinburg for our honeymoon. And there was I don't remember the name of it, but it was just this big ass petting zoo. You know,
That's awesome.
And Addison just had a fucking blast. Literally, there was this section of nothing but baby goats. Just a shit ton of baby goats.
That's so funny. That's so cute, honestly.
Yeah, right? And dude, I was having a fucking heyday with it. Like,
dude,
so was she.
Goats
but,
are so cool.
But we both went in, and you literally just walk in and commingle with them. Like, you could just hang out with them, pet them, let him play, whatever. But just Addison's face, just the most memorable thing out of any vacation I have ever taken was her face. How excited and lit up she got.
Yeah.
When
it was like she was alive.
Yeah.
You know?
And the majority of the animals in that petting zoo was walk up and pet. Like you can pet deer, all kinds of different shit.
That's awesome.
But her favorite part was the baby goats.
Yeah, man. I don't blame her. Baby goats are awesome.
Yeah, I know. I'm literally not even going to lie. I wanted to walk out with one.
Yeah. I wouldn't have blamed you.
But, I mean, I guess as a kid, I'd have to say, we had this annual tradition where every year we'd go down to Smith Mountain Lake, Virginia. Mm-hmm. And we'd stay down there for a week. We'd run a house on the lake and just have a blast, man. It was nothing but water sports, the boat, jet skis, fishing.
Man, that sounds awesome.
Getting fucking drunk. I mean, I was with my dad and stepmom and everything at the time. I mean, they were there. I was 16, 17, I think, maybe. And we did it for a couple years in a row, and they didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And where I'm going to kind of, like, segue into the question for you is, like, do you have any plans to make, yearly trips with the kids, to the same destination as a tradition for your family? I mean, not the exact same destination, but, somewhere that's...
Yes. I mean, yeah.
Similar.
I know where you're going with that question, and I absolutely do to an extent. I know I have some knowledge and some insight onto how people vacation normally, and being obviously in a beach, working real estate and doing rentals and sales.
Yeah.
In a beach resort area, I'll put it this way. When I was working rentals, I had a plethora of clients who were repeat clients, and half the time those same people, even though it was a growing family or a dwindling family, if they were getting older or whatever the situation was, they always wanted to come back and be kind of going back to the same house, more or less, as long as the prices were okay and the weeks were available or the dates were available. Yeah. But that being said, I will say this. I think I would get bored if I go to the same house year in and year out. So, like, going back to your memories of, like, Smith Mountain Lake, I would go to, like, Smith Mountain Lake, but I personally would like to go, like, let's rent a cabin on, say, A Street at Smith Lake.
Well, that's how it was with us.
Okay.
We were never in the same house.
Oh,
we were
see,
always in a different house, so it made it
that
more
would
fun.
be because we love New York, upstate New York.
Yeah.
We love Vermont. We love Maine. We love the upper northeast New England area.
Oh, I don't blame you.
And we definitely, like, there's this one little spot in Farmington, Maine, a small little community in the middle of the mountains, almost slap in the middle of Maine.
I want to go so bad.
It is awesome there.
Yeah.
We were there just at the tail end of fall, and it's starting to be winter.
Yep.
Snow, the beautiful foliage, all of it, dude.
It was beautiful, bro.
It was amazing. Like, we in the property we stayed at, like, they had donkeys. It was like a farm, but not a farm. Like, they had some animals. They had, like, donkeys.
Yeah.
A couple dogs, like farm dogs. They had a couple other animals there, and it was just so cool. Like, they had a couple apple trees in the back, a small little apple orchard that we would just walk out in the morning time, and I would just pick an apple, and it's just like, everything about this is what I want to kind of create for my children.
Yeah.
And not necessarily that exact spot, but something to where they can reflect back and have memories like that. So that kind of brings us to our resolution. It's clear and apparent that vacationing as a family has lifelong memories. It creates higher familiar functioning across a multitude of dimensions and allows a lot of de-stressing and decompressing that normal everyday to-day life really doesn't give you the chance to do. Despite the lack of guaranteed ability to make it happen as an employee, fuck you, corporate America. It's in our best interest as fathers to create that window of opportunity to vacation no matter what. A long 1 or 2 week vacation with national average of vacation days or families vacationing is 18.6 days. Or multiple short stints, like I said, a weekend getaway throughout the year. Whatever it is, the time away for you and your family have long-lasting impacts and will overall improve your life. Work will always be there. These moments with your family will not. I think we're in some situations right now, bro. Especially the title that I see here with cheap ass perv.
Yeah, man.
I'm not. I'll let you take this one over.
Today I found out. Oh, all right. You know what? This is by Allison Arsenault. It's a spicy one back from 2020. It says, today I found out my boyfriend of 5 years thinks that it is too expensive to get married, go on vacations, concerts, etc., but spends $100 a month on hentai.
Wow.
And for some people that don't know what hentai is, it's a certain type of porn.
I always thought it was hentai.
I've always told it was hentai.
Well, I guess it shows how little I know. Wow, $100 a month, huh?
This next one is by White Chocolate, back from 2009.
White Chocolate.
And it's a spicy one. It says, today I found out that even though my parents have been married for 21 years, our family friend who routinely accompanies us on family vacations completes their threesome.
Oh, my God.
Everyone in town has known for years except for me and my older brother.
Wow. That's some tough news to walk into there, bro.
Yeah.
Hopefully you didn't walk into it.
The next one is by Anon and Spicy. Oh, this was recent.
Okay.
It says, today my girlfriend raged furiously at me for never initiating sex. The reason I haven't been initiating is because she was on a medically ordered sex ban.
Oh, my God.
And she forgot to tell me that her doctor had cleared her 2 weeks ago. She's still mad at me, and there's still no sex.
You know what? She was probably pregnant. You know?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, God, man, that sucks.
And this last one is called Caught in 4K.
Okay.
By Anonymous and Spicy.
This is another recent one.
Yeah.
July 9th.
Yeah. It says, today my dad went on a rant about how police are scum, time wasters, corrupt assholes, and a waste of taxpayer money. I'm a police officer.
Oh, my God.
And I'd had to pull him over because he was swerving all over the road while getting roadhead from a woman who was not my mother, to whom he is still married to. FML.
I do hope the husband and the wife have an open relationship about that. But if not, put that stuff on World Star Hip Hop. Speaking of social media, is there a social media shout out? Be sure to find us on all of our social media platforms. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/thedadtape. Sorry, guys, we're not on World Star Hip Hop. You can find us on Instagram at The Dad Tapes Podcast. You can find us at Twitter at The Dad Tapes. Just please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a review of the show wherever you listen to podcasts. It really helps us out.
Listen, guys, I'm getting fucking tired of y'all not rewinding these tapes before you put them back in the box. Don't forget to rewind the tape before boxing it back up. Please.
Just do it. It's just one button. It stops on its own.
Yeah.
It pops off by itself.
Yeah, I know a few other things that pop off by itself.
All right, deuces, guys. Peace.